Hi, so as we're wrapping up our reduction print project, and it looks like something like this, you should have had 4 really nice prints with your colors reduced down as we carve them away from our stamp. So then you have all these layers on this, but you can't go back and reduce it down again because it's all been carved away. So you're left with a raised relief of whatever your Sharpie was. So we now have this Sharpie design of a stamp that you can use over and over again. Today is going to be all about what you can do with this stamp because you can take this home and you can reuse it. So if you happen to have clay or like Sculpey clay or something like that, you could actually stamp this into it and get this imprint. That might be an interesting way to use it. You could also paint, so kind of like we used our ink, but instead of using a brayer, you could just paint on top of it and stamp it. You could do like a watercolor wash and stamp on top of that. We're gonna do 3 different techniques today that you could then use, or 4. We're actually gonna do 4. So the first thing you need to do is grab 2 sheets of paper like this, and you're going to take them back and use the colored pencils and the markers to put interesting designs on them. So they might look like this is with sharp markers, obviously, or these 2, they look like just a pattern with colored pencil, or maybe you want to color the whole thing with colored pencil and let it fade out. There's just a lot of different things that you could do, a lot of different patterns. But once you have those colored, you're going to take some time to color them. Then you're going to print on top of them today. So you could actually use marker with this, or you could use paint, but we're going to go ahead and use our ink since we still have that. So I'm just going to take my ink, and on these 2 here, I'm going to print on top of the pattern. So I still have my thing. You're going to color these at your desk, but then you're going to go back to the station, the back table back there that's going to have a black station. So I'm going to just ink over this. Like so. And then I'm going to print on top of my papers. So then I will have my stamp on top of a marker design, which makes it kind of interesting, or on top of my colored pencil design. Now, if you haven't already done this, you're also going to grab another, so pause this video, don't watch this video all the way through, color your 2 items, then pause it, and then go print at the back table your 2. Here's another one of my marker designs, and here's another one of my colored pencil, like that. So once you're done with this, you're going to put these off to the side to dry. Hopefully they're dry by the end of the hour. You didn't use too much ink. But then you're going to just print a plain one. Some of us have already done this on the ghost print. So if you did that for your ghost print already, wonderful. It should be dry for you to color now. So that's the 3rd way. You would just do a ghost print, and then you could use colored pencils to color this in really nice. So obviously this is not quality work. This isn't even quality work. This would be better. This is not so good. So since you guys are art too, I would expect you guys to have some darker areas and really make this look nice. You do not have to color the background if you don't want to. Just the object is fine. And then make sure that you put your name in the bottom right corner. If you haven't already done this ghost print, you can then do this at this time. Make a ghost print of your picture. If you want to do another one, go for it. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to use this kind of like we did in Art 1, where we colored on it with marker. So now that I have done my prints, I went and I washed off my block so that I can use it using markers. If you have a wet print like this, you want to maybe wait for that to dry for a little bit, so maybe do this technique and then come back and color this in with colored pencil. So this technique here, you're going to need markers. So in Art 1, we did a raised relief where we colored it in with markers and then we printed it. So that would be another way that you could do this. If you want to take your time and color whatever's raised, you do not have to color anything else. But I'm just going to color anything that's raised up, add some marker onto it. You might want to take your time more than I did. I'm going to make this one kind of weird. Okay, so then I'm going to take my sponge. If you remember how we did this, you're going to do this technique as well, and you're going to get rid of all of the water from the sponge and then dip it back in. And I want my paper to be shiny. I want my paper to be shiny, but then I want to get rid of all that shininess, like so. And then I'm going to take my stamp and press it into this so that now you have a colored copy, like that. Okay, so this can really look like anything. You could color things differently, make it unique. You could do this a couple times if you wanted to. There is really a lot of different things you could do. You could collage different papers behind. You can use something cut out from a magazine with words, but there's a ton of different techniques that you could do with your printing block. These are just some examples. And here's some more. I like the Starry Night one. Starry Night, but some examples of what you could do with your stamp. So now that you have these done, you're going to take your 4 after they've dried. Actually, it's just going to be the 3. Don't do this one, okay, that you color in. Don't do that one, but take these 3 and take your sketchbook, and I'm just going to staple these into my sketchbook, and I want to be able to see them all, so I'm just going to take this. My stapler will be at the top, the front of the room, like that, and then I can flip through and see the different ones that you've done. You should have 3 in there. Okay, enjoy. See ya.